It is Tuesday and 1 month from our birthday, Corey said.
1 month till our birthday. People are like, I don't like when people celebrate the whole month. No, I'm a monther.
Corey's a monther. Usually the week of, I'll get a text when I go see a movie. Then
I get a little crazy as we approach
We
it.
do. One time we were at a jewelry store and Corey was telling the poor, I think you were getting a ring size, like your wedding ring or something, your fifth one. And the jewelry guy, you were like, it's my birthday. And he was like, would you guys like to try on, was it a $100,000 ring?
It was $150,000.
Okay. And he was like, listen, I shouldn't do this. I would think my hands are kind of shaking.
It was ginormous.
I couldn't pick my hand up.
We did get a weird couples massage that day as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, when Corey and I don't shower, we look like a happy couple. And they put us in the same massage room. But you know, it's too awkward to be like, I don't know. I hate confrontation. Or like, hey, I'm sorry.
Weird.
She's not the love of my life. So this is the Sugar Cookie Marketing Podcast. And Corey has an oddly good mood today. Let's hope we can continue that.
You know, I started off with Home by Michael Bublé.
No, you can't reach a Bublé. When Bublé starts your day, it will be happy. Doesn't he have a song called Happy? It's just an upper.
I love any of his holiday music coming out.
Are you already playing holiday music? Is your Christmas tree up?
No.
When will you put it up?
The day after
Please vote
Halloween.
on the tree cookie photo.
After Halloween.
Here's a funny, and I'm going to post this in the group as a freebie for you guys. Also, it's the 4th year birthday of Sugar Cookie Marketing Group.
Happy
yesterday,
birthday.
October 21st. When we first started the group, Corey decides to make the biggest Christmas.
It was ginormous.
How many inches top to bottom? You have a
I
picture
want to
of
say
it with
it's 11 inches top to bottom.
The cookie was huge.
Yeah.
But the problem when you put a cookie, a large cookie in a white background, it looks small.
You could say
no
it looked like it could be 2 inches tall.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys know what forced perspective is. It's when you put a quarter next to something and say, we all know the size of a quarter, so we anchor the quarter. This tree was massive, but in the photo it looked tiny. So Corey even took a photo with it with a ruler to prove it was big. Of course, you can't use that. But anyways, we turned it into a poll, like when you put up your Christmas tree, and it was like November 1st, mid-November. It was like just a cute little thing, right?
Yeah.
We posted it to the cookie group, and people were like, "Oh, can we share this?" Yeah, absolutely. It ends up going internationally viral.
It's the most famous cookie I've ever
It's the most famous cookie. It always comes to home, and then
It does.
but then rest of December, people will be like, "Oh, I found this in a group about real estate."
News channels were posting it.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if you want me to sign your autograph after the podcast, I can.
But please, everyone know that tree is actually an 11-inch cookie. Nobody realized.
It was the most ugliest cookie share that I've ever made in my life.
It did its job. So anyways, tell us what the group that is now 4 is about.
Welcome to our 4-year-old group. It's only great because of you, but we are actually a spinoff.
What about
from
me?
A group. No, me and them. It's a spinoff from a group on Facebook called the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group. What we thought was, I love listening to podcasts. I love listening to them while I bake, but usually, my hands are filled with flour. So I said, instead of just having the group on Facebook, let's bring a podcast so people can listen and grow their business at the same time.
So a lot of the topics, if not all of the topics we talk about, are things that we see in this group.
Yeah.
So taken from text form and put into audio.
Yeah, whether it be marketing, tips, tricks, know-hows, and nuggies, to more thought-provoking things like what ifs.
It's always going to be either about your business, your brain, or the vendor
Or your
blender.
bacon.
Yeah. So what we wanted to talk about today was falling in love with rejection.
I hate it.
Nobody likes being told no.
Mm-mm.
In businesses, we love to say it because you can see in the comment section of any thread where somebody says, what should I say to the client? People will love to type, as I delete it, no, it's a complete sentence. It's not actually, but we're so quick to run to the no, reject our clients, reject that budget, reject that request, reject that last minute order. But we don't honor the same.
We hate hearing it.
We
We think that we can tell people no when they bulk in our prices, but no one can tell us no when we bulk at theirs.
Right. But being told no in business should be, and I challenge you, this should be the sweetest word you ever hear. Because no, in a world where time is money, no saves you money.
The reason why me and Heather got such thick skin with
You have
no's,
thicker skin than me.
Do I?
I think you're like, yeah, whatever. I think I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta go reassess my life choices real quick. I'll be back.
Maybe I never asked the question I know I'll get into. When we first started business, we had to hit the ground running with marketing. There was so many no's.
You want to hear no? Get into SEO. It should be called SEO because that's all you hear.
It's not like we had any prior clients, so we had to grow the business from the ground up, and that was built on the word no.
A foundation. It'll put hair on your chest.
When we started getting guesses, it was surprising.
Are you sure? Did you say no?
Did you typo autocorrect?
Did you like me? No. But falling madly in love with rejection will level up your business, because sometimes when we hear no, it takes us to our knees. We question our self-worth. I actually believe that taking no too personally is indicative of an internal problem of self-doubt and a lack of self-worth.
I do agree with that. And I'm going to say case in point.
Okay.
This weekend, we were sitting at the dinner table with my grandmama.
There's a grandma, not the one that I live with. She's visiting.
She's visiting in town.
This other one.
Okay. I make cookies. I'm the baker. That's what I do. And last time I didn't bring them, and then everyone was appalled I didn't bring them. So I brought them this time. And they were very cute.
Pumpkins.
Passing them around the table.
Very cute.
This grandmother looks me square in the face from across the dining room
without skipping a beat.
She says, I don't like your cookies.
She said it with that temperament, too.
While I was eating one.
I thought I misheard her. And I was like, oh, I'll circle back around. Like, I was talking. I was like, oh, nah, no way.
And I was like, well, they're not fried, buddy.
Wild. But Corey could make a decision. And I know, and immediately she's like, I'll never bring cookies here again. That is the incorrect response.
No, but I want to say, I'm so confident in my level of cookies that her comment didn't hurt me at all.
Because when you have self-worth, when you're sure of the value that you bring, no doesn't affect you.
I do need to clear this up for people listening. She likes harder, broken, dry cookies. So my moist, soft, made with loved ones just work for her.
Needless to say, it entered the family chat immediately after it was uttered. But back to that no, when you have a lack of self-confidence and that no hits you so hard,
it's almost like it's saying the quiet part out loud.
I know. The thought that you hoped nobody revealed. Yeah. Someone said, no, I do not want to work with you. And they revealed this secret you hope nobody knew about, that you doubted yourself as well.
Yeah. So
And you take that no so personally.
And it's easy to take it personally because a lot of times we are second guessing ourselves at every corner.
Because imagine, Corey and I like to position baked goods as products.
Yeah.
But when you position them as artwork, an extension of my creativity, an extension of my heart and soul, and someone says, I don't like that. Yeah. That's going to hurt.
Right.
That is going to hurt. So falling in love with no, realizing that you're not everyone's cup of tea and there's plenty of tea to go around. And no is just the jump point to a future yes, whether it be with this client because you met their objections, or a client that is a better fit for you. No is actually delectable.
Yeah.
So I did write a little bit, so I'm going to read about it.
Sure.
I pinned it in the group. None of you saw it. Nobody liked it.
I did. It was very lengthy.
It was long. I didn't give you a warning. Long.
I was on
post. Right.
Yeah.
You did not read it.
I didn't read it.
I said we're trained in business and in life. We've got to learn to madly fall in love with two little letters, N and O, but we're trained our whole lives to reject rejection. No one wants to be told no. It's gross. I even almost hate typing it. The thought of someone not wanting us would send shivers up most of our spines. No's bad. No means you're wrong. No means you're not likable. No means someone chose someone else over you. No means you lost money. No means you lost a sale. No means you lost an opportunity. No is bad. But in the world of fighting for likes, attentions, follows, friend requests, and yaaas, the smart business owner searches out the word no. Here's my Tinder profile for the word no. No means you've gotten your direct answer. You waste no time flirting with a maybe. You got a defined path forward, and it wasn't the one you thought it was before the no. No means you know where your weaknesses lie. It's a map where X marks the spot to improve, and once you improve, you're more of a force to be reckoned with. No means less wasted time, where you can get a client to get to the no as fast as possible. In a world where time is money, you've saved money through the time you can spend cultivating a new sale. No is actually kind. Hear me out. When someone says, no, I don't think you are a good fit for my budget, that's an act of kindness. If someone tells you no, they're treating you with respect. Hearing no is hard, but saying no is also hard. Being an adult enough to dish out a no, that's respectful in a season where Casper haunts our business page inboxes all too often. In business, we have to tell a lot of people no. No, we're not looking for a podcast guest right now. No, you're not great at fit for the Vendy Blendy. No, I've had to delete your comment because it violated a group rule. No, you're not allowed to post that. No, you're not allowed to sell there. I witness far too often when folks take no way too personally. They see no as an attack to their character, to their business, and specifically to their ego. Rejecting rejection is not the business approach that will make you money, but it will get your feelings hurt. The phrase, it's just business, it's nothing personal, that's what no is. It's just business. It's not saying you're any less of a person. You cannot have a business without the word no. It's just not possible. No is inevitable. So the faster you fall in love with the word no, the better your business will be. No is everywhere. No is guaranteed. It's delicious. Hearing no is just as amazing for your business as getting that yes. It is not bad. No is good business. So my challenge for you is to reframe how hearing no impacts you mentally and emotionally. Stop taking no personally.
Yeah. Did you know there's this TikTok trend right now? It's called getting comfy with rejection.
Okay, it's so funny. So I write this, and in the comments, writes, so if you've ever, I've talked about on past podcasts, the Happiness Lab podcast. Victoria said, yesterday I was on a plane, I was listening to the Happiness Lab podcast, and she references the episode where the Krispy Kreme donut guy went and asked for the Olympic rings. This was years and years ago. He had joined a master class, and they were supposed to get rejected 30 times in 30 days. He goes to Krispy Kreme and says, can you make the Olympic rings out of donuts with the colored? Expecting that to be a no, but Krispy Kreme said yes. Right. But back to that challenge of rejection. So what are you seeing on TikTok?
The TikTok trend is people are so uncomfortable and so much anxiety around the word no that the thing is to ask these questions where the no is the answer. So almost like if you went to an ice cream shop and you asked for pancakes, like it's going to be a no, but you hearing the word no and getting comfortable with someone looking at it and saying no. And like at the end of the day, ice cream shop is not going to carry pancakes.
Yes.
But you are getting yourself used to hearing the word no, feeling rejected. Yes. You're not getting the pancakes, but you're not taking it personally. So it's the more often you practice it. A lot of people are like adverse to wanting to hear no. So you never ask the questions. You keep it to yourself because you're so worried about hearing it.
Because you take it so personally.
Absolutely.
If no is just another word to you, you'd be almost invincible in terms of sales and business. Because it'd be like, hey, so I have to put on my big no-girl panties around the Vendy Blendy because there's a lot of rejection. Hey, shop, a lot of people want you to sign up, and they're like, no.
Nothing like you grow some chest hair than the Vendy Blendy.
So I'm receiving a lot of no's in October. And then it leads to like now let's pretend we never wanted to hear rejection with the Vendy Blendy.
It's going to be pleasant. The Vendy Blendy will be 2 people participating.
2 people, 2 shops. One's a cookie fabric. But when you man up and say no, that was an option just as much as yes was. And yes, why I'd love everyone to be like, oh my goodness, where do I sign up? I'd love to do this, and I'd love to give away $1 million in door prizes. No is kind of the expected answer. And I catch myself. The problem is we're preconditioned to hate the word no. The initial thought is, what? And the second thought, the business owner thought is like, that's absolutely an appropriate response. Thank you so much for considering us. Love to work with you in the future if you ever change your mind. Thank you. Instead of like,
well, I didn't even like your cookie anyway.
You're blacklisted.
I think what made me good at no's was selling cars.
And what do we think of car salesmen? They don't take no for an answer. Sleazy car salesmen. They won't accept rejection. They keep hounding me.
The reason why is because you're never supposed to take no as an answer, because you have to say, well, what's the reason? What's holding you back from buying this car today? That's not a no. Well, it's the price. Okay, well, let's work on the price.
They never accept. No, they search it out and they say, okay, no is just a preemptive maybe. Right? And that does go. And I almost wonder, like, the kiosk people that sell the hand soaps.
Yeah.
I almost would love to go through their onboarding process because they do not accept no. They'll get soap in your hand and not offer you water to wash that off so fast and make your head spin.
Yeah.
And it's that almost a superpower when you can take no as a bonus.
Yeah.
That is great.
You say,
thank you so
almost
much.
Thinking of no as now I can finally discover the reasons why it's not a yes.
The faster you get to know.
Yeah.
But I think we exist in this Saharan desert of maybes.
When someone says no, that much for cookies? Okay, that's a no. It's another way to say not a chance. So many bakers will run to their business page. How dare you question my prices? listen, they're not saying no to your prices. They're saying yes to their budget because you don't fit in there.
Maybe the no is just a covert yes to something else. It had to be a no to you.
Yeah. So what you can do when you get that no and you know the objection, and it's called overcoming objections, especially we specifically did that in car sales.
You have to practice it because it's so hard to hear no the first time.
We practiced it every morning.
Imagine practicing hearing no. It sounds so foreign, yet in our businesses, we're told no constantly. And it was funny. Our little sister was trying to date this guy, and he was letting her down with maybes.
Gently.
Yeah, and she just couldn't pick up that it was no, and she was retelling the story over the weekend. She was like, why didn't he just tell me no one last time? Then I would have gotten it.
Yeah, what? I said he did it 3 times, dude.
So we almost were like, so scared of no that we never like pitch the price soon enough because we're worried they'll reject it on the price. So we waste so much time trying to warm them up. There's the balance of like, hey, here's the value. But there's also the timid work of not giving the price because you're worried they're going to say no. You're worried about the rejection. In a world where rejection, Corey and I say this, like, I can't believe somebody would have asked that. And I said, Corey, if you listen to the podcast, Rob, the guy I dated, he was like, if I asked him to start his jet, he could have told me no.
Yeah.
Rob was in love with rejection.
Some people say if you don't ask, the answer's always no. So
the answer is always no. And those people do have a superpower because, and to give them more context, this guy I dated, we went to a air show and the man said, well, to just turn over, just to start the engine on this plane is $200. Just to get just the fuel pump or whatever. And Rob was like, can you start it then? And I was aghast. I said, why would you have asked him? You put him in such a weird place because now he feels obligated to start it. And Rob was like, well, he could have told me no. You can tell me no.
Yeah.
But if I never ask, the jet never gets started. Yeah. And then I hear it boots up.
And just so you know, Rob was never invited back.
Right. So there is those people who really fall in love with no. And I hate to say it, they get a lot.
They get a lot because they're not scared of it.
Yeah. And in a business, okay, so this is typically how people get into baking. You're bored one Saturday. You think it'd be a fun hobby. You realize how expensive it is. So you have to start selling.
I think most people are asking you and you're like, okay, I guess. Right.
But you didn't say, listen, I'm a business person and I'm going to invest in a baking business. You are like, hey, this is just a fun Saturday project and it took off. And now people are asking me to bake. So we're not preconditioned. We're not trained.
We're not going in with the business mindset that knows our
You didn't graduate from Cookie University and now you're ready to hear no. Instead, you're like, this is just a fun thing I'm doing, but now I'm being rejected.
Yeah.
And that's tough.
That doesn't feel great.
That does not feel great. However, the sooner you make it feel great, the sooner you're like, no, thank you so much. The sooner you see no as the benefit and not the detractor, the faster your business moves.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people take no so personally. And I totally understand it.
The double-edged sword is we give it so easily.
We do.
But we don't accept it back.
It's crazy.
No, it's a complete sentence. Did you just tell me no?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The thing is, we are saying no constantly. When you walk through an aisle of a grocery store and you're pinning up Fruit Loops against Reese's Pieces, you're saying no to one.
Mr. Reese's Pieces isn't like, well, that was Reese's.
You are saying no. We're constantly saying no. So for us to feel so personally violated by hearing it means that there's something underlying there that we need to work on as far as
it's such an interpersonal journey. Yes. It's to figure out why no hits you to your interior core. I don't want to say it's like a inner child wound that's never healed that you hope nobody ever finds.
I'm going to say I think our parents raised us knowing no was going to be hard charging in our life.
You're just better with no's than I am. I am like, I'm going to go crying and I'll see you in a couple of hours with a smile on my face.
Maybe devastated. Maybe because I got in trouble so much.
Corey was the no child and I was the yes child. The yes twin. There was other sisters involved. But take no as a compliment. They are respecting, everyone loves to complain about
ghosting,
ghost in this time. And it's because that is a symptom of a fear of rejection, either giving or receiving. Yeah. When we ghost people, we're so worried about confrontation that we prefer to leave them wondering than say no, right? And I would encourage you, when you, as a consumer, need to tell someone no, tell people no respectfully, like as if it's like a benefit, like, hey, not for me right now. Thanks so much for doing that.
And there's, unlike my grandmother at the dinner table, there's polite ways to say, I don't like your cookies. There's a polite way to say no. There's a polite way to handle no's. And the number one way is not to go lambast the person on your page.
If you feel that first inclination of being told, no, that's really expensive for cookies. Okay, she pulled the grandma maneuver. Somebody who says, no, that's too expensive. That seems overpriced. That's our grandma, right? I don't like your cookies. But it was still the no that told you where to go next.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather that than let me ask my husband?
Right?
Right.
Which is a no.
So the no, the direct no is the most respectful way to say not for me right now.
You know what grandma's not getting for Christmas? Cookies.
Maybe give her some stale ones.
I'll put a nail in one.
But back to that, you should not, the grandma no should just be like, oh, great. Now I know what not to get you for Christmas.
Absolutely.
But you said that with vengeance. Of course.
Yeah. So what I ended up saying to her, I said, you know what? There's a cookie out there for everybody. Yeah. I said, I bake them the way that I like to eat them, but there are so many bakers that bake hard, crusty, dusty cookies.
You had a little bit of that. You had a little bit of that. So anyways, falling in love with no. Here's the rest of what I wrote. But the challenge to seek out the word no stuck with me. How fantastic would life be if no didn't take us to our knees emotionally? If you're afraid of rejection, search retrospectively to find out where that lies. I don't trust that it lies in just good business practices to not like no, like you think it does. I suspect it's an emotional safety bunker built to protect our injured ego. I bet that getting offended and defensive when you hear no is a coping mechanism that shields your inner self from feeling pain of rejection. Address where that feeling comes from internally. Reposition how you relate to it, and you'll see 1,000 doors open after the word no.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. yes.
No. So no is a compliment. No is respect.
It is
a compliment. No is a releasing you to find a better sale. No to Vendy Blendy. It's what can I do to make the Vendy Blendy so good that this person's no today is a yes tomorrow. Right. Something about it isn't convincing them yet. And they're letting me know through the no.
You're going to face no's if you're searching for a venue for a cookie class.
That's a good point.
No doesn't necessarily mean they think your business is wishy-washy and fake and you should go back into your little
You're not adding enough value for me to open my doors for you.
What it's telling you, the no, is getting one more step closer to yes. So, hey, I understand that it's a no. Is it something with the pricing, with the deal, with the marketing? Is there something that I can address?
Yeah, no, I don't think you're going to be enough. You're bringing enough foot traffic. Okay, right there. They said something about your marketing isn't telling me how many people you plan to bring. So if that venue still know, the next venue can say, hey, here's how many people I plan to bring. So we've already gotten that objection handled. That no from the first place was respectful and allows you to tee up a better pitch to the next place.
What you don't want to do this to someone. You don't want someone to do is string you along. String you along. Oh, it sounds good. I got to check with someone.
Let me get back to you. Let me go talk to the
I'm
ball
on vacation
and chain
right now.
I'll let you know. I'm going to circle back around.
So it is polite to say no. It's okay to hear no. And if you have trouble with no's, you've got to look into her personally and see what is triggering you. That no is so accosting to your body and your soul.
You've taken it too personally. I hate to say it. You're taking it too personally. Yeah. You are taking no as a personal attack. When
I also think a lot of people read between the lines on no's. And no, there's no lines. It's 2 letters. There's not up and down. There's
no hyphen. That thing's right there.
But they're really like, no, they don't like me because they don't think I'm a real business. You know, but you're making all this up. And that is maybe a reason why you take it so personally because, no, that doesn't fit our budget. They don't think my price is
Do you think? Do you internally think you don't feel like a real business yourself? How can you shore up that no that makes you feel like not a real business? Is it, do you need to get flip insurance? Do you need to get that LLC? Do you need to talk to a CPA?
Do you need to get a custom email?
Do you need to get that website going? What makes them? I don't trust your business. Why does that hurt you so hard? Hard because you think it too a little bit in the back recesses of your mind.
It's so easy to think that. I think when I was young, I was like, when I become an adult, I'm going to know everything. Now that I'm an adult, no one knows anything.
I have always been interested in cars. So back with the crazy boyfriend, we went to a lot of car shows, right? With a lot of very, very wealthy people and very fancy cars. Yeah. And I was not one of those people. I was just invited. So once you get to know somebody well enough, you're like, hey, how'd you come about this? Like what line of work you're in when you're most comfortable? And I'd said to Corey, it's so funny. The answer to the question is if I know that they secretly know they could never recreate this business. You know, one guy, I was like, for sure this guy's in the mafia. He was like, hey, guy, you want to ride in my Lamborghini? And I was like, hey, Joey, what do you do for work? And he's like, I do baby cribs, Heather. I don't know. I just got lucky. And I was like, wow, baby cribs. And I could just say, like, I'm not sure that he thinks he could do this twice.
Mm-hmm.
And does that protection, like, you wouldn't know that this guy sold baby cribs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that you can't do it twice? Is that where that timid...
I think everyone suffers from that question in their mind.
If the giant man with the New York accent and the Lamborghini is worried, then we're worried too as bakers. But you just gotta fall in love with, hey, wow, I'm learning this on the cuff.
Yeah.
That no hit a weird place inside me that I need to work on myself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, okay, let's say you're like Adriana Lima, right? Victoria's Secret model.
A gal can dream.
And a man's like, I don't want to date you. I don't think she's like, it's how I look. I think she's like, that's a you problem.
It's you,
right. So when we're more confident in our business, in what we bring, in our skills, when someone says no, we're like, it's not a me problem. It's a you problem. How can we make it less of a problem for you?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of that personal attack. What I see in the group, since this is a podcast based on the group, what I see happening is someone will say, the client wasn't happy. I already replied to them. How did I do? Like, oh, I'm so sorry. You already sent that email. There's nothing we can do here, but your email is very defensive. While I feel like the client may or may not be right in their unhappiness, your energy is so strong in that reply email to them, and you've gotten your defenses raised. Why did you raise your defenses so quickly? Why did you draw the drawbridge up so fast? Is it because they hit a soft spot that you also wondered if you're not good enough, if your skills aren't good enough, if your marketing isn't good enough? Did they stand on that little secret soft spot you have in there? And that no hurting so much harder than it should says, hey, listen, whatever that is, whatever that bruised area is, go put some Neosporin on it. Go take a couple classes. Go figure that out. Go get that flip insurance. Go get that. I know, like, I don't know how to get started with an LLC. It's not as hard as you think, but it does require feeling like a toddler.
Heather's been toddling around.
I feel out of my element at all times. Just tripping forward and backwards.
Learning something new is hard. It looks like a toddler did do it. Mm-hmm. And then with that practice, the practice of hearing no, the practice of trying something new, you get better at it.
Here's the thing. Cora's pretty great at cookies. I think you're pretty great. I don't know how many people. Unlike our grandmother, I like them. But when she gets cake pops, I'm like, oh, none of that talent translated over there. Instead of, a lot of people are like, ooh, cake pops, never trying that again. I'm really good at cookies and my ego sits really nicely on top of this platter set over here. But I'm a 4-year-old toddler making cake pops. We often say, well, then cake pops aren't for me. Corey powered through. She offered quite a few refunds. We had quite a few test cake pops. At one point, Corey was sending them around with me to ask third-party people's opinions.
I needed not family to give me the hard nose.
My cake pop seems to be weeping.
It's crying.
And his cake pop is crying. But she powered through the toddler stage. Okay. That first person that was like, I think the dough's green.
You know what? I said, it is.
You said I have so many reasons, but I immediately offered her the refund. The reason it's green, though, and it self-soothes to be like, well, the green because the Jimmy sprinkle was green and got enveloped by the dough. that was hilarious at that time. But I don't like your cake pops. Because Corey came to me first. She was like, oh, I finally sold my first set of cake pops. Then she's like, it's so funny, that first set there wasn't a full refund on. And I let him keep it, but I think they just threw him away. But that could have absolutely taken Corey to her cake pop knees. She would have said,
I see so many bakers, they either get pushback on pricing, they get pushback on their flavor, something like that. They're like, okay, this is not for me. I'm taking a step back from my business. I see these posts on social media.
Oh, yeah.
What a crazy correction.
I'm taking a step back from my business because that no hurt me so bad. I'm willing to pass up the opportunity for thousands of dollars that could change my family's life because I can't handle no well.
You know what's crazy is the people who sing our praise and say, I love your stuff. It's almost like they're whispers in the room. And then when you hear no, it's like screaming at you. You forget everyone who said, I love your stuff. You're amazing. And you can only hear the person who said, the taste wasn't good. Your cake was a little dry.
That's why Corey and I always encourage people not to run to their pages to lambast one upset client.
Yeah.
Because your page is comprised of a lot of fans.
Who liked you.
Let's say you have 1,000. Let's be demure, mindful. Let's say you have 300 people on your page, which is a very healthy bakery page, right?
Yeah. That's
very hyper-local. That means you've got a good group of 300 dedicated fans. In your inbox, you got one person that said, I don't like how you decorate. And you take that energy, the one no, and you give it so much life that you say to your 300 people, instead of thanking you for ordering from me, I'm actually going to force your engagement to defend my ego from somebody who didn't like me because I can't handle no. Instead of saying, hey guys, I'd like to sell you more. I got to know over here so I don't have to waste my time.
Right.
So now I can focus back on my 300 homies.
Yeah.
But instead we take all that energy and we funnel it to fight these no's.
I want to say in our local community group that me and Heather love to run and discuss, there will be one random...
let you know there was a lot of sarcasm in that sentence.
There will be one random person who doesn't like the way we admin the group.
Right.
For me to make a post to say, the way we run the group is how we run it. If you don't like it, go find another group. To the people who... The other 4,599 people who do like the group would be insane to give that one person so much credibility.
I have this Acura, right? So I like to join these Facebook groups about these cars. And there's like 5 groups. Cars kind of newer, right? And Corey was like, I said, I always like to see how I act as an end user to help us better admin groups. And I said, I find myself posting in the group where the admin doesn't chastise everybody. I said, because the other group, if one member of these 5,000 people does anything wrong, he'll make a really long post about how we're not allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah.
The other group just quietly deletes it and just handles it offsite.
Yeah.
The rest of us are like, this car's so fun. And I said, I find myself erring towards a more positive group. Same with your pages. When you go and it's negative and people, if you don't like it, my price is my price. This is my artwork. You can't touch it. You can't say anything. You are creating in your audience a really negative feeling. So Corey and I had said with this community group, we're going to focus on positivity. Sickening amount.
You know honestly. How me and Heather roll. We're gonna shove positivity down your throat.
And that is not for everybody. If you want to be a negative person, you're not gonna like me.
Yeah.
You're gonna say, wow.
So sorry.
They don't like that they delete everything. And there are more groups for you. That no you gave us, awesome. In fact, and I say this to Corey and Amy when she admins, people leaving the group because they don't like how it's admin is the
best thing. Then you griping in the group and be like, hey, now this group is you just leaving? Thank you.
Leaving is
Thank you. I wish this group was for you. It's not. I hope you find one that fits.
There's no way that Corey and I could be everything to everyone, but there are groups that can be something to specific people.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to find groups, and there's so many groups for one topic. That's like great.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if Corey and I took and at the beginning, when we were starting this, and nothing has taught me to love a no like a Facebook group. Like adminning a Facebook group, because it's really just a lot of people upset when you enforce the rules. And it's like, hey, thank you so much for bringing that up. The reason why it's a no is this. And then when sometimes, and I say, Corey, it's delicious. Sometimes people are like, oh, hey, thanks. Didn't know that. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And some people are like, you told me no. You've touched my ego. You touched my soft spot. I'm leaving your group. And I'm like, you're not mad at me because you don't know me.
Yeah.
You don't know the one little tiny action where I deleted your comment. You don't know me. You're something internal.
Yes.
And I wish and I hope that one day you can see that blind spot that you have and realize it was never the Miracle Twins. It was never the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group. It was never the baking group. It's something internal that you're protecting. You're protecting a bruised spot and refuse to heal it. And it's ruining your life.
Yeah. So if you can kind of diagnose that, if you can get comfy with the word no, if you want to do the challenge where you ask, my son every day when he gets in from school into the car, because I have to go pick him up, asks to go out to eat every single day.
That dude says one of these days you are a variable reward system to him. So he knows one day it'll
But he'll ask every day and I always say, nope, not today, not tomorrow, nope.
Yeah. I go to this therapist and she's like, I think you really don't like to hear no. So you covertly help people so that when you need help in the future.
You save the favors against these people.
Yeah. If you read the book, No More Mr. Nice Guy, it's about that concept of like
does that
covert
even work
contract.
on me though?
No. Let me stress the no. But she was like, what I think is happening is you're like, I'm being so nice to people. So the whisper, the in between the lines is that when I need the same help later, you're going to help me, right? You're not going to tell me no because I already told no.
Yeah.
So she was like, no is
I think because you don't have children, you've not been able to use no so free and frequently.
By Frank, he can't even mouth it.
I say no probably 52 times a day.
Yeah.
I say no to the dog.
I honestly think you're just better at no because of sales.
Yeah.
I honestly think sales and being willing to accept the no and turn
and to
it around.
separate myself from the no. Like you're saying no to that Mercedes.
To
You ain't
know
saying no to
that
me.
CarMax trains people on the no
Yeah.
means that we have to train ourselves on accepting that, hey, no is the nicest thing you could have said to me.
Yeah, gets you one step closer to that. Yes.
If you can hear the word no and not feel anger or animosity or one of those negative emotions, wow.
Yeah.
You're a force to be reckoned with.
CarMax had such a high turnover rate. The reason being is because a lot of people can't handle no. If you can't handle no, your sales are going to reflect that. Because as soon as you hear the first no, you're going to let them walk right off the lot into the next one.
Well, there, no. And I don't like hearing rejection, so I'm not going to stop
Ask the hard
them.
question.
But you see what Corey said? I don't know if you just caught it a second ago. She said, it's not that you don't like me. It's that you don't want that Mercedes. It's not a me thing. It's a Mercedes thing. So if I can get you into a BMW, we got a yes going on.
So if my custom cookies are too expensive, which they are.
It's not a Corey problem. It's a budget.
I think we could do macarons.
Yes.
You can get a dozen half the price of that.
Right.
And then it's a win-win. I don't get offended. Of course, I'm not like, this is my artwork. It's my who I am as a person. So it's easy for me to be like, no, we got to find a product that fits you, buddy.
When I have to lock a post or delete a comment or suspend somebody, a lot of times I brace for them to end up in my inbox.
Yeah, that is a little
that is
crazy.
Somebody who doesn't accept no, because typically when that happens, I'm citing the rule. So you know the full reason why it's there. But no, you hurt my ego, and I don't think that's fair. I reject your no. But I want to be like, at the end of the day, the rules got to be the rules.
Yeah.
It's got to be the rules. Like if somebody's got to go to prison, national treasure. Somebody's got to go. We got to have the rules. So you're not going to win over the rules because the rules aren't designed. They weren't saying, I'm going to take user A and I'm going to make all these rules to make them suffer. The rules are just, hey, to make this group a better group, to make it easier to manage, to make it easier to moderate. But you're like, that rule right there, it was meant for me, and I'm not going to let that rule happen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, the rule's a rule. And then they were like, well, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, that is the nicest thing you've said yet.
Yeah.
It's not, but the no wasn't about you. The 10 rules that we're allowed to write in Facebook groups, I didn't say, well, Madeline, this one's for you. The no is there to make everything more efficient. And the more we accept no, well, I didn't know that was where that no was meant, but okay, thank you so much. Now I know.
Yeah. I mean, you could practice by going to, when you go out to eat, ask for something so random that's not on the menu.
Watch them be like, oh. Okay, well,
Do you have tiramisu? That's a hard thing to make if it's not on the menu.
Here's a great way to practice. When somebody's selling something to you, instead of that angry no, the no's you give out shouldn't be angry either. Okay, so we walk past the kiosk. Like when you go to Sephora, would you like to open a credit card? No, I'd get in so much trouble if I did that.
TJ Maxx. Go to TJ Maxx. They'll ask you if you want to open a card every single day.
I think that, here's what I do. I went to Ulta the other day and they said, you'd save 20% on this order.
Yeah.
Which is a great way to get somebody to sign up for a credit card. But I said, oh no, but you know what? Thank you so much for doing the math there. I'm not going to sign up for the credit card, but I really appreciate not having to think about that. It's a nice way to say no. And the no is delicious because you're now being able to give a no without emotion and receive a no without emotion.
Know where I really suffer about giving no's? Any girl or Boy Scout outside of a grocery store, I cannot. It's my Achilles heel. They're so stinking cute. But I will have 52 bags of the popcorn from another Boy Scout. And then I'm like, oh my goodness.
So what's a good way to say, hey guys, thank you so much. I'm really proud of what you're doing. I've actually already bought from another Girl Scout, Boy Scout, but keep it going.
I said, you know what? I'm going to buy a bag. You just give it to the next person that has a pleasant face.
You're crazy, but also it's a very nice thing.
They're so cute.
The Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts, they're so cute.
They're so stinking cute. And they
don't tell them now.
But I think that's a practice in the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts to get no's, and they're supposed to...
The fact that those kids will grow up to be business mavens.
Yes.
They will, because they're so good. Like I got caught by a Girl Scout and she was, of course I was like, hey, I'm really impressed that you guys putting yourselves out here. I'll take a box of Thin Mints. And she was like, just one. I said,
oh, you good, girl. You good.
Immediately sweating. But then watch how they do not get phased by now.
I know. So I think that is the whole reason behind getting the kids. I want to say that's like one of their bastions of learning, not
That's
maybe
great.
a badge that they put on their little thing.
Accepts no. It should be a badge. Willing to hear no and not cry.
Yeah, but I think that is fantastic because it's so
this week, the challenge. And you're in my challenge.
What?
Sense when someone rejects you and acknowledge the immediate feeling. Put that feeling in a holding pattern and then reply as the business owner.
Yeah.
Find it one time this week where you accepted no and you thanked them internally for it and responded accordingly.
Yeah. I'll have to try to think when I'm told no. I'm told yes a lot. A lot.
Because telling you no, you get so feisty.
You said I could handle no.
Sometimes you can and sometimes it takes you. You're just a meanie queenie.
All right. Take us to next.
Okay, we have some texting questions.
We got some texting questions.
You guys can now, there should be a button on the podcast player you listen to.
Are you sure it's on
Yeah.
Apple?
If you pull it up on Spotify.
Is it on Apple?
Not a clue. Don't have an Apple
most
product.
people are thinking of Apple. They're accessing it that way.
Are people not listening to Spotify?
Not as much as Apple. Apple's the number one. Apple
I have
Music.
no idea what goes on with you guys in Apple. I don't have an Apple product to listen to it. But if not, 571-556-5644, you can text in a question. So here is a fan mail. Your recent bucket podcast, you talked about iPhone photos versus high quality photos. It surprised me because iPhone takes really great photos and it's what I use to display on all my social media content. Deb's Custom Cupcakes. I stopped using my digital camera when my iPhone lens became better than the camera. Maybe I'm just too new to tell the difference, but will a digital camera really make me more sales, providing I have good content? This past episode was perfect. I never understood what and how to use content buckets, so I intend to do so now. It's crazy. Last week's episode said debunking content buckets. Yeah. I took a poll. What are you doing on your phone?
Just proving there's a gas leak in the Glen.
Oh, no.
We have to let the people know.
Yeah, thank you. Last week we talked about content buckets debunked. I took a poll because I always take a poll before I send out the Wednesday.
I saw that.
Most people do not use content buckets.
I can't believe it.
It's worth a listen. But okay, Deb asks, we said there's merit to an iPhone photo and then there's merit to these higher quality cameras. Yeah. Corey and I went to a produce stand last week and we were talking about, I did bring the expensive camera and I brought the smartphone, right?
Okay.
The photos that the expensive camera took, I used a 50 millimeter lens, which means there was no distortion from the lens to the subject. 50 millimeters, typically what we see with the human eye. Yeah. It blurs out the background and it provides a focal point to the pumpkin in this case, right?
Yes.
It handles lighting better. Now, okay, that made, and you were talking about it today that you took those photos and posted them to your cookie page because you said it was something romantic about it.
But you did see on my iPhone, I took a photo.
And she posted it to her stories.
And you were like, that looks.
I said that got my attention. The content was so great. The iPhone made me feel like I was actually there.
Yeah.
The high-end, it was a Sony a7 III camera, made me feel like as a fantasy that I could go there. And it evokes different emotions, I believe. I think that the iPhone photo, iPhone camera technology is insane.
Wild.
Would you prefer your Canon or your iPhone for a set photo?
It's very biased of you to ask.
Now, what did you post to your stories yesterday? With your iPhone, you took a picture of photos from the Cookie Class Kids, and it was a mix of Halloween, which we're teaching this weekend, and a Christmas class, which we're dropping at the 1st of November for the Cookie Class Kids. You posted the iPhone photo to your stories.
I always post the iPhone to the stories. I just feel like it is behind the scenes. You're more in there with me.
So, Deb, if you get the vibe here, there's an argument for both.
Yeah.
And if you have a camera with, an f-stop that's lower, which creates that blurring effect or the bokeh effect, there's a place for that. And there's a place for the iPhone, and mixing both together in two different content buckets. Because imagine now, every content bucket gets divided into two. We have the iPhone version and we have the, fancy camera version. Yeah. And both evoke different emotions. Yeah. So we can even squeeze more content out of a single set.
My thing I want to add, at the end of the day, if you get a fancy camera and you don't use it, the iPhone is going to be better. I told Heather all these little reels that I make or whatever. She said, why don't you do it with the fancy camera? I said, because I won't do it.
Right. So I'd rather content than no content. Yeah. So definitely the iPhone's going to be easier there. If you want different types of content, bring in that fancier camera, learn how the lens works, learn how the ISO and shutter speed works, and get that romantic effect. Because I can tell when Corey chooses one or the other. typically all your sets are taken with the fancy camera, all your behind the scenes, all your stories, all your reels are taken with the iPhone.
Yeah.
So the right answer is the one you will use.
Yeah.
The better answer is use both.
Yeah. At the end of the day, both can enter Lightroom and get a same woo effect if you wanted to.
Post-processing really does help.
Anything you've ever seen me post has been post-processed.
Which means she's brought it into a photo editing app, which she prefers Lightroom, makes these edits and posts it. Coming straight out of the camera, although the cameras do add some post-processing ability, I don't think it can touch what Lightroom can kind of do.
Right. Even what your phone comes with does amazing post-processing edits.
But you put in that effort and it shows.
Yep.
But to have, and Corey and I talked about this in the content buckets, to post a stunning photo to your stories and say new post up, I don't like that.
I don't like it.
I like my stories to be iPhones,
a little bit
videos. Raw. I want to see how you live your life. Yeah. So what Corey did is we went to the pumpkin patch. They had a pumpkin wall. With her iPhone, she posted to her stories a picture of the pumpkin wall, but with the fancy camera, we took a photo of her and her son, which she posted to her feed. Mm-hmm. So again, mix of both. 2 content buckets there. 1 pumpkin wall. Right. Next text and the last one. Hey, Heather and Corey, just finished listening to your content bucket pod and getting a ton of motivation. Strong arm emoji. Nice. I'm a stay-at-home mom and a cookier who has been at this for a while. I've had my official LLC for 2 years, but I'm baking and selling for 5 now. And I've got family that lives just around the corner from you. I grew up visiting your neck of the woods frequently. No way. So she's been sitting in traffic a lot around here. I've been starting to listen to a lot of info on multiple income streams, and it's piqued my curiosity. I love what I do and selling cookies from my home while also being a mom, but to be honest, it's completely exhausting. I feel like I've got a ceiling over my head. I'm really limited on how much I can bake because I'm a mom. I'm taking care of kids 24/7. No babysitters here. My older one goes to school 3 days a week, which does allow me a tad bit of extra time to work. I've been ramping up to posting to my TikTok and gearing posts towards bakers who are just getting started or for cookiers who want tips and tricks. I've got a lot of ideas and I'm wanting to put them to use, but my question is this. What's the best way I can go about monetizing this? Is it selling recipes, selling courses, ebooks, going for the 10,000 on TikTok like everyone else and trying to join the creator fund? I'm currently monetizing on Facebook and I'm in the Amazon affiliate program. I made about $3 whole. Woohoo. I'm open to hearing about how you guys would and have gone about this approach. Thanks for all the info you guys share on a daily basis. You've helped me get to where I am today and I so appreciate you. That's interesting. Nice. We were just talking about this.
We were. The problem is there's so many ways to make money that if you put your eggs in every single basket, you're going to make $3 everywhere.
There is a creator. I'm into listening to Fin creators, Fin influencers, finance influencers. So Caleb Hammer, he does these, they call them financial audits, and he just has people sit and he goes through their finances, right? I started watching him when I think he had 15,000 followers on YouTube, and now he has 1.56 million. Mm-hmm. He's done that in a year and a half, I think about 2 years. Yeah. He even says it. The way I went about this is I focused only on YouTube and I posted 3-hour-long videos a week. Mm-hmm. And it was my morning and my evening editing these videos. Yeah. Now he has a huge team of people do that for him. However, it's consistency and focus.
I want to say though, if you're baking for customers and you're also trying to make extra money, your focus is divided in half. Caleb Hammer put every single ounce of focus
into money.
Made $0.
He would do it after his job. Yeah. And still post 3 videos a week every week for months and months. I still think he's at that rate of 3 videos a week.
Now he quit his job though, and this is what he does full time. So you have to say, am I willing to give my customers less? So I can focus on this more?
There'll be a dead zone where there's no sales. Because you're switching from sales of customs to affiliate and passive income streams.
Right. Your audience for who's buying your local bakes to people who would check out your Amazon storefront are different.
So you're saying I'm switching from my target audience of local people buying cookies to a national audience of bakers. There is going to be a time where you're just making cookie content. Cookies for content and nobody buys them. Right. And you're going to be like, because your audience doesn't want to learn how to make a star-spangled background. They don't want to know
the spatula you bought from TikTok Shop.
They do not care about the meringue powder. Yeah. So those people you're going to leave behind. And you're going to be like, but that's money. Mm-hmm. You just said we need to make this switch. And that switch is going to take tons of like Corey and I, when we started the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group 4 years ago, it was just me and Corey typing to each other. We were in the same room.
I said, the amount of time suck this is, and the amount of brain power I'm posting to make these posts just to have Heather like it.
Corey would literally like, hey, posted it, like it.
Yeah.
Okay, comment on it. And comment back to me when I comment on it. That is just, but it was months and months.
Yeah.
It was just months and months of like, wow, this is really weird. It feels like a waste, but it's slowly growing.
I want to caution you
that
if you choose to...
You're like the TikTok sound. Once you start down the path, you can't go back.
Once you start transitioning to trying to sell to other cookiers and bakers, these affiliates, your shops, whatever you're trying to do there, TikTok shop, you are now muddling your message.
Yeah, my thought is create a different
It would
page.
be, but then you're like, now I'm really starting from zero.
Ooh, you are, yeah. Buddy. We're not mixing both cookie company / sugar cookie marketing.
Yeah, when bakers combine them and their message gets super muddled, then I follow along and I see who they end up choosing. Like where they were like, and I'm no longer selling recipes. Where you water, it will grow. So where you're going to put your time and attention to, that's where you're going to reap the benefits. There's always going to be a slow time while you're growing.
This is how I'd approach this. Yeah, yes. If you're wondering, the answer is you can make money in either direction.
Yeah.
You can make more money focusing in one direction.
Yes.
Tell yourself this. Here is my content postings. Here's what I will create. And here's how long I will create it before I start wondering if this is right.
Yeah.
So I'm talking like 6 months, 3 YouTube tutorials a week. Each of those tutorials make them over 30 minutes.
Insane.
Because it's easy for me to say that. To make content, you have to figure out what the content is. You have to storyboard the content. You have to record it. You have to edit it. You have to upload it. And you have to manage it.
There's so much work behind it.
Because if we make one YouTube video, we can splice that into TikToks. We can splice that into Reels. That all channel us back to your content.
But you see what's taking the back seat there?
We're not doing customs, buddy.
We're not doing
Now, your natural thought would be bake the customs in the content. Use the custom mortar to create the content. Now, everybody who wants customs wants the same little roly-poly round ladybug.
The
bakers don't need that.
Bakers want to see, how did you paint that? How did you make that floral? But if someone's just getting the basic unicorn set, it's not going to hit with your other target audience of bakers because they want more complicated things that they don't know how to do already.
Right. Because you got to say, what is the baker one? They want more advanced because a lot of them, she says, I want to target new bakers. Okay, so we're going to target, what does a new baker want? That is who the only person you're going to speak to.
They want to know how you're making your royal icing. I tell you, customers don't care about that.
Customers don't care about that. But you're going to say, well, I already have 300. I have 1,000 likes on my page. I don't want to just start over.
Yeah.
That's a rough one, buddy.
I know.
I think you're going to have to start. I think if you want my opinion, create a profile that is 100% marketed to bakers.
Yes.
And table the other guy. Make that switch. It will be violent and it will be poor for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, because passive income is so gradual. First, like she said, $3. Then one day it's $10. 1 month you may make $100. But you know what? The work that went into the $100. But it's one of those compounding interests.
Yeah, right.
Versus customs is like, I made the sale, I got the money, and we're done.
Yeah.
This one is like all that work and I made $3.
I know.
But then one day you'll make $3 from 300 people.
I know.
Each one paying.
There's a lot given. There's a lot to consider there.
It's a big shift.
A lot from someone who has made a ton of content, and to have half of it reach nobody.
Consider this. Corey says she makes a ton of content. Half it reaches nobody, but everything we make, we split in half because we have to have each other because it's so much work.
Yeah,
that I'm willing to take every dollar and give Corey half of it.
Yeah, I can see why people choose content creation, but I can see them only choosing to do content creation. It's not, I do this, this, and this. It's I am a content creator because it takes so much time and effort.
It takes more time than you ever thought it needed.
Yeah, and then you'll spend an hour making this content. And it'll fall flat on its face.
But then you have to be like, that's just keep doing it. Keep doing it because one day it's going to be that, yes, nobody's seeing that content doesn't mean I'm bad. It means I've still got work to do.
I was talking to Heather, and this is an aside. I said the only way to go viral on TikTok, because I post every day on there.
15,600.
Yeah. I said the only way is something controversial. You know?
Get them as high. Keep them so
opinionated.
That bucket, we can't touch it.
I know. But here's the thing. If you get into the creator fund, you can only get paid on videos that are a minute or longer. So you're like, I don't care if people rake me through the coals in the comment section. I want you to watch the video from start to a minute 01
But are bakers on TikTok? And that's going to be my poll today. Are you on TikTok as an end user?
It's true.
Bakers.
Right.
I don't think they are.
Yeah. Is your audience on there?
If you have been on TikTok this week, Katagi. Thank you, Katagi. I posted that. And you might be like, what in the world just happened with this dude? It's trending on TikTok right now. This girl from Vietnam, she's hyper wealthy. I don't know if it's staged or not, but she goes to Prada and goes to Chanel. She points at the shelf and she said, I want all those to her.
Yeah. I'll take all of these.
What's he? Like her concierge?
Yeah.
And his name's Katagi. And she'll be like, I want all of these. Thank you, Katagi. Thank you, Katagi.
Yeah.
I posted that to the sugar cookie marketing page. Like, husband brings home flour. Me, thank you, Katagi. Nobody liked it because they didn't know what it meant, which indicates to me that bakers aren't on TikTok.
I think bakers
or my jokes are lame.
Your jokes we're going to go with bakers. I don't think the same audience is on both from what I've understood. I think more bakers are getting on there now.
Yes.
So I think now you could cultivate this world of new bakers. Yeah. That's what I've done with our profiles with here's how to do a blah.
If you said, okay, let's say she's got her kids, she's got to watch. She just said, I got 5-hour days where I can really dedicate to this passive income generation. I would say you're looking at, I think, YouTube for beginner bakers. Yeah. I feel like that's where people go to start the learning process of things. And then they migrate to Instagram and Facebook groups. I think there is where you can capture a lot of that target audience. But again, your posting rate and the length of your videos will be very indicative of the audience you create. Now, don't reinvent the wheel. Go find those bakers that have already blazed this trail. Yeah. There's competition there. That's great. That means and figure out what their content is. Make a list of their content. You can organize videos by upload dates and figure out, okay, here's a video that they did. I think I can recreate that. If you want to niche it down and say small town beginner bakers, that's great. You know, which is in the niches. But great question.
I know. That's
it's in the back of every baker's mind.
I'm going to pray for you.
That question is in the back.
It is. And I see why.
Because it's passive.
But,
it's so active to be passive.
It's just a lot of work.
It's a lot of work blindly hoping it hits. Versus a custom order, I mean, you get cha-ching, hits your Venmo, hits your bank account, you got money.
What's so funny is the content that does great, the ASMR decorating videos, does great on Instagram. TikTok, they said, we don't want that stuff. Take that away. We want tutorials. We want to hear people talking.
It's crazy. And I think, and I mentioned Gardy's Goodies in the past, I think she's done well on TikTok because sometimes it shows up in my...
She always incorporates her audience into her.
And she'll be like, hey, I had this... She talks about her life, which I think TikTok wants.
But what she's really gone to, she'll take a cutter. And she'll have you guess what you think it should be. And she'll take that and make it into what you wanted her to make it into.
I wonder if you could get in Gardy's Goodies' head and be like, how hard is it?
I have no... Yeah,
like,
I could not
How
imagine.
ridiculous is it?
I mean, I'm like, wow, she just made like 4 icing colors yesterday. She's decorating the same cookie with 4 icing. But she says she doesn't sell cookies anymore. So
You can't do really one when you want to do the other. But the fact that it should never be called passive income.
It's not passive.
It's not passive.
It's not. Because once you post it and it falls out of the feed.
I think we should call it residual
income.
Highly active, then residual income. Interesting questions, guys. If you want to text in, it's 571-556-5644. Okay, moving on to the Vendy Blendy. I taught a live last week. You can actually find it on the Sugar Cookie Marketing YouTube. You can find it pinned in the group, and you can also find it pinned in that event. I may post it to the page. It's the intro to the Vendy Blendy, meaning you guys keep saying this. I don't know what it means. I'd like to know what it means. Yeah. It's a 30-minute live, and it just walks you through the who, what, where, when, and why. Now today at 8 p.m., it's pre-shop the Vendy Blendies with me.
Why so late?
I have them scattered in the nighttime because I want people to be able to watch.
That's when I am getting ready for
Ellen, who is Cup of Cookies and she's from Europe, is like, finally I can watch one.
Oh, that's nice.
Because she's like, I during your Vendy Blendy, I am asleep most of the big time.
I do have a set that is due rather soon.
You're staying up at 8? You're in bed by 7:30.
Listen, we have class and I have orders on the same week. Yeah. I'm going to have to stay up a little while.
So this one, we're just going to go through each vendor's website, of which we have 57. And I'm going to tell you what they said their 3 best sellers are.
Nice.
And I'm going to tell you where they're willing to ship and if there's a free shipping threshold.
Wait.
Yeah, it's going to be super simple. Yeah. So speaking of the Vendy Blendy, it is in 6 weeks, which is wild. Felt like it was 5 years ago that we said it was. And now it's 6 weeks away. It is on Black Friday, which is November 29th this year. Not our birthday, thank goodness. It's actually a week before our birthday. I see.
Is it a week? It's not. It's a week after our birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. A week after. Exactly a week after. Down to the day. Friday and Friday. So, but like wouldn't that be the suck if it was on the same day?
Would it? Nah.
It's like when our birthday falls on Thanksgiving, which is the worst.
I know. But everyone celebrated.
That nightmare ex I had, Rob, he would forget my birthday every year, right? Like it was a surprise. But I remember one year it actually fell on Thanksgiving and he had forgotten. And he was like, let me go get you something. I was like, everything's closed. You're not saving that. But the Vendy Blendy, unlike Rob, is a blast. Not a nightmare. And there are big door prizes we're working on. It depends on how many vendors sign up. We have 57 vendors.
Listen, I'm going to need you to post the thing where we bully people into getting it.
Listen, I know I love to promise that. Listen, I want to say.
Listen,
I am pegged to the rev limiter.
This is what you said. I have so many memes. The only person posting them is me.
Do you know how to make? How long
I'm making them as I go.
Do you know how long it takes me to make a shop announcement to follow up with 1 million emails? I will get to it. Corey and I are putting up working hour numbers.
Listen, you ain't going to bed on time for the next few weeks.
So the Vendy Blendy, we have 57 vendors. Let me see how many pendies we have. How many do you think?
Almost 3,000 I looked.
2,912, which is great. By the day of that event, as the closer we get to it, that number compounds itself because everyone's so interested in it. The big takeaway, this is our first year with 25% off. Every year's been 20% off. Corey and I said, let's push our luck.
Let's push it.
If anyone
at the worst thing they can say, no.
But 25% off. We have, and I said to Corey, if we got 62 vendors all said and done at this higher discount, I'd be stoked. That'd be my goal number. Anything beyond 62 is icing on the
It's
too soft.
I've already got my go-tos, my needs, my wants laid out.
Do you? Yep. Well, if you guys don't have that yet, sit with me tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we pre-shop the Vendies. I actually have a bunch of lives scheduled. I always think it's funny to call them like, hey, I'm alive. So live 1, I taught last week. It's called Intro to the Vendy Blend. You can rewatch that.
Throwback video.
I think I said, oh no, I need to get up. Live 2 is today at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is October 22nd. Let's pre-shop the Vendies. October 30th is Secrets to Shopping the Vendy Blending. Now, these are my best kept secrets of the Vendy Blending. This is how you get the most with the least amount of effort.
Yes.
It's only going to be a 30-minute live. I'm just going to tell you what I'd do if I was you. Live 4, the Cookie College in the Vending Building. We're actually in it. I'm not making a post announcement about our shop. It is time to shine lights on others, but I will be teaching live. If you're interested in the Cookie College, which we'll talk about in a minute, that would be the live 2 tune into. Live 5, final Blendy Q&A, which I'll have some preset questions, but if you have some questions, there's no such thing as a stupid one when it comes to the Vendy Blendy. That'll be the 2 weeks out, the week of, prior to the Vendy Blendy. That is when I get the Vendies all set up.
Yeah.
I get them in the group, teach them everything they need to know, and then we have the Vendy Blendy.
VB. 2025.
November 29th, 25% off with door prizes. I think our door prize count, because each vendor can offer door prizes as well, is around $10,000 right now. So $10,000 in door prizes. Someone just emailed me, I think it was Lizzie, and she was like, let me add a bamboo giveaway.
Really?
Yeah. She was like, I want to do that.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, girl.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, girl.
I want to win one.
You can enter.
A bamboo, baby.
Oh, right now, bamboo printers are running their Black Friday sale from yesterday to Black Friday.
Isn't something I could learn?
I did
take a lot
one.
of brain
You just
power.
Really have one.
You don't.
Fusion has the brain power. Corey, everything you've ever wanted. You came today and said, "Can you print off cookie cutters for a class?"
And you said you had the idea, but why did I have to say it out loud?
I printed the bamboo sticks, the boo boo sticks, the bamboo boo boo sticks.
All right, let's get to the next topic. I'm getting hungry.
Okay, the cookie college.
The cookie college.
What are you working on?
What am I working on? I will say this Christmas class, which is part of the cookie class kits. Is that what I'm working on?
No.
It's adorable. It's so stinking cute.
The Cookie Class Kits is a membership. It's $63 a month. The Cookie College is $76 a month. That'll be on sale on the Vendy Blendy for $68 a month.
Here's the thing. If you do the math between 63 and 76, is that $13? Less than 13. What is that? What's the math? Why is that so hard?
I don't know. Anything that has a
76 minus 63.
$13.
$13. Listen. You'd be an idiot. Just kidding. The reason why
That would be
We made the cookie class kit so close to the price of the cookie colleges because you get so much more in the cookie
If you
college.
don't like the number 7-6, it will be 6-8. It'll only be. Is that 5?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, on the Vending Blending. So that will be a part. We'll actually have quite a few things.
On the Vending Blending day, we're going to get back to our grandfathered pricing. So you can get the college
one day
for $68. So
but that includes everything. Cookie class kit.
Every kit we're now entering our 3rd year of cookie class kits.
Which Corey's already got.
And they are all in the cookie college.
If you sign up on November 29th for the cookie college, which will be $68, you're already saving money. And let's say you only want to be in a month.
Sure.
You can download every class kit, which you'll have over 22. Yeah. And during your 1-month active membership at that discounted rate, you're going to get the first ever New Year's class.
Yes.
That will drop in the first week of December.
Listen, I'm no mathematician.
Nor am I, clearly.
But I'm going to tell you, if you are considering the cookie college, hold off just a little bit till the fancy blancy. It's not a bad financial decision.
At least to just snag those kits, to snag the $2 transfers, download all the digital downloads.
Yes.
Just there's some cutters floating around.
But here's the thing: you're going to join the cookie college, and you're going to love the little group that we have.
You're going to trap you with all that
quality. I love these roomies.
We're doing a water challenge there. I think we're going to do a thankfulness challenge in the college.
It's going to be busy, so that's an easy one. Keep people on the positive. Yes.
I actually bought a book. It hasn't come in yet. Corey's making us do. Do you want to just jump to our Twinters?
What is my Twinter?
Oh,
yeah. It was such a good idea.
Corey texted me and she's like, do you want to do a twin advent calendar?
I'm really into advent calendars.
Corey's really into advent calendar. She sent me the box to order. Yeah. It's an empty box from Amazon.
The problem with an advent calendar, you have to like something and then buy it, and it's just a lot of that. So if you liked tea, you could do a tea advent calendar. But I want to not know what's in these.
So it's a twin advent calendar.
So me and Heather actually buy each other gifts for both birthdays and Christmas.
This will be it, right? Let's channel all that budgie into the box.
Let's do. So this is 20. I think there's only 24 boxes. I don't know why there's not a 25th box in there. It only said 24.
It's Christmas. And
so I said, let's me and Heather get these empty boxes. They're very cute, and they're all different sizes for like each day. So you could fit different things in them. And I said, let's both fill them up for each other. We'd not know what the other person got. But you get 24 little gifts.
This is either coming on Halloween to November 13th.
That's okay.
Okay.
Because you don't start your Advents till December 1.
Empty Advent Calendar Box 2024. Empty Christmas Advent Calendar 2024. 24 grids. Adults made your own. Yeah, it should be fun. It's very cute.
It's adorable.
Right.
I will say, if you're like, oh, that'd be a great idea, I would love to do that next year for my clients. The boxes are extremely expensive. They're $21 each.
I actually went with a different one. This one's $16.99, 10% off.
And that's why you're getting the late shipping.
Yours, they were also
That's why you're getting the late shipping.
You don't need it before that.
That is why.
I'm going to keep it with me. But I also got the book, Power of Appreciation.
So I'm excited to fill these up. I love gift giving. That's my thing.
I think we need to set a budget, and you have to get to the budget. I don't want just a load of dollar store stuff.
I know. I don't want a load of dollars. You just said you were a teepee weepy.
I feel like the box is a part of my gift.
No. I'm good at gift giving.
Right.
It really will determine what size these boxes are.
The size is the restrictive
At the end of the day, gift cards fit in many boxes.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So, Corey, this is our first year of the twin advent calendar.
Over the past few years, me and Heather's gifts have gotten weird.
Guitar lessons, tattoos.
Heather still has not taken the guitar lessons.
And I got your tattoo. That it was a gift.
You're welcome.
Clearly, we missed the mark that year.
I did get the weather floor mats. I think you got me one year.
I did.
Yeah,
that was last year. And what'd you get me?
You did not get me. That thing still is not on the back of my car.
Oh, yeah, the spoiler.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
It's not there. What did I get you?
It was
good.
You
something good.
And they liked it.
Apparently not enough to remember.
What was it?
I have no
I write it all down because I have such a terrible memory.
Not to claim. No.
We did good last year.
Yeah, because I use those. I love those floor mats.
Was it the ring?
A ring?
Yeah, you remember
I got you that for your birthday.
We blur those all together, buddy.
Boob.
We didn't do
I
Christmas
went to Quinn's and got you that ring.
Right. Was it we don't actually haven't done these for Christmas. We do them for a birthday.
I don't know.
We're all over the map.
I'm not sure.
So that is our Twinters. Back to our sponsors.
Back to our sponsors. Sponsor number 1, and they're going to be part of the Vendy Blendy. Bakety Bake. Listen.
25% off. Never seen it. Never seen it before.
You're going to have to beat me in line, man. I went and did my
If I find out,
ingredients count.
I know that you're a part of the planning committee for the Vendy Blendy. If I found out your order was placed a minute before midnight, I will ban you from the Vendy Blendy. You are a shopper like the rest of them.
Little bit of a minute. Okay, Bakety Bake. It's a company that makes the meringue powder that I use. It's called Royal Batch. It is delicioso. And I've tried most every meringue powder out there, just so you know. The reason why I like it, it whips up bright white because it has white food coloring in it. It tastes amazing right out of the bowl because it has vanilla extract in it. And it has a soft bite, not soft enough for my grandmother because it has corn syrup in there. You can get it for 10% off right now if you want to beat the line using code TWINS at checkout. But she will be part of the Vendy Blendy. She will be offering this 25% off. Unheard of, ne'er has it been seen. It's on my list. You will have to beat me to it. And because I get the shopping list before everybody else, I will be buying before everybody else.
Very nice. Not in the Vendy Blendy because I'm willing to accept rejection, but I asked.
She did. Just so you know, guys, she put you in her little back pocket, and Heather, who hates to hear no, asked.
I said, I'm a big girl, no panties, and actually I've emailed them about the Vendy Blendy every year, and they say no. So it's honestly a great training ground for me. Because I'm like, I know the answers.
Oh, that's true.
I'm gonna shoot my shot here.
That's true.
And it is Eddie, the edible food printer. Now, they may not be in the Vendy Blendy, but they should be on your Christmas list.
They should.
And Corey actually got another Neiman Marcus order where Eddie will be shining supreme. How many Eddies could you have bought with those corporate orders, do you think?
I don't know, 5 at this point.
Yeah. So that is the magic of Eddie. Now, I'm pro not taking on debt. I'd prefer that a portion of all your orders goes to this Eddie fund. I don't like taking on debt.
A portion of your orders, and you put it on your Christmas list for your friends and family.
Yeah, a portion of their goodwill.
Yes.
With their powers combined, you get an Eddie. So Eddie is a direct-to-food printer. It's $3,000, not chump change. You can see why we always talk. But corporate orders can bring in thousands of dollars.
Corporate orders are the bee's knees because they just want it done.
Yeah, if you want to learn more about corporate orders, there's a podcast called Corporate Girly Era. Recommend listening to that. It's going to be an Eddie-themed podcast. You can learn more about Eddie on the Primera Printer Users Group. I think it's called the Eddie Printer Users Group. I also discovered there's this another group called Unofficial Eddie Group, which has a lot of free stuff.
That's unofficial.
It's unofficial.
And it's
unofficially free.
Nice.
Add me at FREE.
FREE. Last but not least, Acorn Backers has rebranded to the Backers Co. They will also be part of the Vendy Blendy. They only offer this discount once a year for the Vendy Blendy.
She does great.
30% off. No holds barred.
She does sell out.
No guarantees you'll get it.
I've read her door price. It is 2 backers and brackets.
Oh, so if you're wondering, the brackets, they're called L brackets. And if you get 2 backers, you can stand them up and it kind of creates a little tiny room. So if you're doing pictures of
wallpaper,
specifically
counter.
Cake pops. These are great for cake pops.
But anything with height, you're going to want to have this.
Yeah, so you don't have your ugly living room in the back.
Here's where I think, back to Deb's question, a higher end camera really comes into play because you can do that zoom and crop. Whereas an iPhone's like, we're going to fit everything in the perimeter of this photo. Portrait style, maybe that'll be a little better. I think the DSLR with that focal length, these macro lenses can really say, okay, it's a cake pop and you don't have to see my kitchen in the background.
So if you want to up your photos, if you want to up your affiliate marketing game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they have an affiliate program?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to make product content and things like that for your Amazon storefront, because you can take your photos and put them there, you want to check out the Backers Co. If you're like, I ain't like to wait in line, I don't want it to be sold out, I hate the word rejection of sold out, you can get it right now using the code SUGARCOOKIE for 20% off. If you wait for the Vendy Blendy, it's 30% off.
Nice.
You run the risk of them selling out of their most wanted ones, which I'm going to say is going to be white matte finish.
That's a standard issue. It makes every bake pop. It's great for stacking baking racks and plates and tea towels.
It's just, that's the one
That's the one you got to start with.
Yeah.
Right. Start with that if you're getting into staging and you really want to dial it in.
But then they have solid colors, which are gorgeous.
I think you love the wood grains for your sourdough pictures.
I do. I feel like that's more homey.
Something about wood and sourdough bread. Maybe because it's cutting board. Maybe it's because we all went to Outback and the brown bread came in that wood
grainy. Yeah. And then for cake pops, I really like the really bright colors.
I agree.
Contrasting.
Cake pops are
fun.
Fun.
And bright colored.
Bright colored.
Yeah.
Because really they're floating on the coloring.
Well, mine are. Because I'm not good.
We do have a live coming up, which I forgot to mention. We rescheduled it. It's Sweet Cake Pop Lady.
Sweet cake. She's sweet.
Bradley.
Yeah.
Come on.
Bonnie Bradley.
Sweet Stella Treat. She's rescheduled to November 1st. A little bit my bad. She was like, hey, girls, not saying to be posted. And I said, girl, I'm dying. But she's like, no sweat. We'll reschedule it. And it's fall themed.
She is gracious.
She's very nice.
She is
So
sweet.
I will get that posted.
Yes.
And you can get a deep dive into cake pop. She gives you the recipe. She walks you through it. She's very, very nice.
You know, I want to say the great thing about her recipe. If you live in Northern Virginia, for some odd reason, Duncan Hines is not common.
Really?
Yeah, it's not.
Can you get it at France?
No.
Huh.
It's more of a grocery store thing.
Oh.
But she uses Betty Crocker.
I feel like Betty Crocker you can find anywhere.
Crocker you can find anywhere.
Give me some Betty Crocker. I'm going to make some of my cribs. What's that?
Is that we did our 20s.
We did our 20s, we did our sponsees, we did our lives, we did our Vendy Blending, we did our accepting the word no as a compliment, which is hard. Tell me no about something. Tell me a no. Or, figure it out.
Something that I just got to say no to you right now?
Oh, I guess you ask me something that you know the answer is no. I'll ask you something where I know you're going to say no.
You ask first since this is your thing.
Okay.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm go cry. I'll see you guys later. Okay, guys, we will see you next week.